everyone, it's Nisha. So today I'm going to review for you the new L'Oreal True Match Foundation. Okay, when I showed it to you in my haul, a lot of you, I think especially from the US, said that yours doesn't come in that bottle. Now I think this is very new. This is to celebrate the 10 years of True Match Foundation for L'Oreal, and they reformulated the O formula. So apparently this is SPF 17 and they have added some light reflecting pigments in it, so they've improved it in that respect. It is a bit more runny, I think, than the previous one. It is not as cakey. It has better coverage. Well, I don't know about better coverage. I've never tried the other one. It's what I've read, so I'm just telling you what I've read, how the formulation changed. And apparently they've put oil in it. So if you like oil-free foundation or you've got very oily skin, it might not be for you. My skin is normal with oily T-zone that, you know, it happens throughout the day, but sometimes my skin is normal, so I'm not overly oily, so I'm not sure how that would work on oily skin. It doesn't feel very oily. So it says here that this has micro match technology, shade micro precision, true to skin shades, capture your skin tone and undertone. And then it's got skin micro perfection properties, which means it has ultra fine pigments that provide perfect coverage without caking to naturally beautify your skin. And mine is in 3W beige, golden beige, and I would say that this is around MAC NC 25. I think the W4 is more like NC 30. When you look at it really closely, I've only just noticed that now, I suppose it's the light, it looks like it has almost shimmer in it, like a highlighter, but I don't know if you will be able to notice that, but that doesn't show on the skin at all. So I really like it. I've used it now every day for a week or maybe even longer. And I do like it. So I don't know what's the situation in US with this, if you're gonna get it. I'm sure I've seen some YouTubers from US reviewing this bottle, because as you can see it's a bit different. It's square. It still comes with a nice pump. The pump gets very messy, I must say, though, but that doesn't bother me. So I don't know what the situation is, if you're gonna get it or yours gonna come in different bottle or you're not getting it at all, but I don't think that would be the case. So anyway, let's get to the demo. Okay, so I've already prepped and moisturized my skin, and what I will use now is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. I'm not usually big on primers, but I'm really enjoying this one. I take about that much, spread it between my fingers and apply it mostly to the middle of my face. It does really, it feels so velvety, and it really fills in your pores, and it looks slightly mattifying, and this has been working really good with this foundation. Okay, so after that I'm going to take my new L'Oreal True Match Foundation, and mine is in 3W beige, golden beige. What I do, I shake it. I always shake almost all of my foundations unless they like thick cream. I put a bit on my finger, I spread it on my face, and that's not even a full pump. And the technique that I found the best with this foundation is using brush first. So this is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I get pretty good coverage straight away, and It applies so nicely, and I don't know if it is this primer that really helps, but as you can see, maybe I need a bit more. It applies pretty well with the brush. And I would say that the first layer, it's a good medium coverage. You know, I don't have that many things to cover. I don't have any scars, but I have very uneven skin, so but I can still see things peeking through it. So it's a good medium coverage. And if you want heavier coverage, then what I do, the second layer, I apply with the beauty blender. So I put a bit more, sort of near the middle. Take my beauty blender and just bounce it. And I bounce it on my eyes as well, because the consistency of it is not very thick. It's quite liquidy and runny. And I feel like this is pretty good enough. You know, I like my full coverage, but to me this is full coverage. I mean, that depends what you consider full coverage. Yeah, I can slightly see things poking through, but my skin is nice and even now. So now I'm going to do concealer, and as always I'm going to use the Naked Skin concealer from Urban Decay in medium light natural, or is it neutral? Neutral. And I put this one just under my eyes. Pat it in. And once I've done the concealer, I will tell you how this feels so far. I have been wearing it every day for a while now, and I am quite happy with it. So, ever so slightly feels tacky. And the finish, I would say, is semi-matte. It's not completely matte at all. It doesn't look too cakey, so that's what people have been saying about this new formula, that it is not as cakey as the first one. Obviously you can see that it's more runny than the first one. The first one was much thicker. And now I am, you know, like I always set my foundation with Laura Mercier mineral powder, but that might not give, I mean, I would do that with any foundation, but I shouldn't really do it, I think, if I review foundation for you, because obviously not everybody uses another foundation, because that is mineral foundation. I then get better coverage, and maybe the foundation reacts differently. So today I am just going to set it with normal translucent powder, and I'm using the by Terry hyaluronic hydra powder. But first let me highlight under my eyes with L.A Girl Pro Concealer in creamy beige. So I use that one because it's a bit lighter. Like this one I used to just give coverage to my under eye area, and this is lighter, so I use it for highlighting in the middle of my face. And that obviously will give you a bit of a more coverage. I pat it with my finger. And then I take my beauty blender and blend it on all in. Okay. So now let's set it with the powder. For this I'm going to use the Real Techniques blush brush. I like this brush for powder. I think it's far too big for blush. And I'm first gonna set the middle of my face, and then I go all over. You need to go all over, because if you are going then use other powder products, if you don't powder, then they will stick and smudge in the cream foundation. Okay, let me do what I would do now. I would do slight contouring with my Sephora Pro 56 brush and Bahama Mama from the Balm. And I'm not doing, you know, like a full-on contouring. I like to just go under my cheek a bit, because I don't have any cheekbones. And after that, because my face looks pretty like flat one color, I take a bit of the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Bronze Light, and I powder with it a bit here, bronze here, and just go slightly around my face and down my neck. I need to fake tan again because I've gone very pale. What I like to do now, and I know that must seem like a lot of powder, but I promise you, after you sprayed it with Fix Plus or something, it all melts lovely together and it looks flawless. I love to use the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. They say this is bronzer, but to me this is not a bronzer. It's like a almost highlighter, but not highlighter. To me, that compares to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders, and I love using it, and I use it all the time. And I just take a bit of it and I go under here. I don't know if you can see the difference when I've done one. It is not shimmery, but it just does gives that flawless look. Don't know if you can see the difference between the two. So I go with it like this, and then I do blush. For my blush today, I will use MaxFactor Cream Puff Blush in Seductive Pink. Love those blushes. I've got here a blush brush, but it is from Crown Brush, but it doesn't have a number, unfortunately, and I really like this brush. This might look too much because I don't have anything else on my eyes, or not even eyebrows, so. But I like my blush. And then I'm going to use Mary Luminizer just on the top of my cheeks. In like a V here. And that's me done. What I would do now is take my Fix Plus and spray it really generously. Spray it well. I would spray it really well with Fix Plus or any setting spray that you have, and I don't press it all the way down, just loads of like half pumps, and I do it quite a lot, and I don't just leave it like a lot of people will spray their face and leave it, because I spray it so well that it needs to be dried. So then I go and dry it with a hairdryer, and then it all melts together and it looks lovely. Because if you spray quite a lot of it and you don't dry it, there could be bits that are just running like water, and then you have. So I will do that. I show you how I spray it, and I go off and dry it. So as you see, I do it quite a lot. I go and dry it now. Okay, so I have dried it, and that made it less powdery. Not that it was very powdery, and you see it's added that glow, and yeah, and I think it looks really good. So what I will do now, I will go and finish off my makeup, come back, tell you quickly how I feel about it. Okay, so I finished my makeup, nothing special, I'm not going anywhere, so it is very daytime makeup, which you don't often see me with. Okay, so I really love how the foundation looks. It's adequate coverage for me. It doesn't look cakey, doesn't feel heavy, so I'm quite happy with it. I will come back to check in with you. I mean, what time is it now? It's 10 o'clock in the morning, but I will probably come back about 3, because after that it's getting dark, and I've got daylight here and some lights, but without the daylight you can't see it as well. The lighting is not so good. And to be honest, I don't really care if my foundation lasts 16 hours. I don't need it to last 16 hours. If I put it on first thing in the morning, if it lasts me till 3-4 o'clock, I'm fine. If I was going out somewhere, I would redo my makeup probably anyway for night out or something, so I don't need my foundation to last me that long. I think if it lasts 5-6 hours, to me that's good enough. So I will only come back once, and I will come back about 3 o'clock. So have a good look at it. I think it looks quite good. I really like it. So I see you in a bit. Okay, I don't know what the lighting is like because it's dark outside now. I completely forgot about it. It's 4 o'clock now, and I've been sorting out my Christmas tree out, so I've been sweating, I'm tired, but let's have a look at this foundation. Well, do you know what? It looks exactly how it looked this morning. Here, always I get a bit of gathering here on my nose, but maybe that's when I'm getting a bit oily. It's come off a bit here, but that's nothing to do with foundation. That's because I've been blowing my nose. I can see a bit of oil coming through here, but other than that, it looks really lovely. It hasn't broken up anywhere, it hasn't come off. It's perfect. So yeah, I really like it. So if you think, I think only if you've got very oily skin, it might not work for you, but I can't be sure because I don't have very oily skin. But other than that, I think anybody could wear it, even dry skin, as it has a bit of oil in it. So, but yeah, this is my favorite drugstore foundation right now, so I'm really happy with it. So if you've got similar skin to mine, I mean, it hasn't settled in my lines or anywhere, not in my forehead. You know, I've got quite wrinkly forehead. Just gathers round tiny bit here. And if you think I've been really like up and down, getting the lights down from the loft and putting the tree together and doing the lights, I've been really sweating. So yeah, definitely worth trying. That was my review of the new L'Oreal True Match foundation, and that's this one in this new bottle. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you soon. Bye.